Um, so hopefully some other folks will be able to join. If not, I think we got a good group of folks here. So this is Bobby Wilson, the chair of the Housing Subcommittee. I would like to bring the meeting to order at 5:36. And the first item on the agenda is public comments. So is there anyone on the line that would like to share any comments now? You have 3 minutes
Yeah,
to
Bobby.
share anything.
Yeah,
Hey, Michael, go right ahead.
thank you. This is Michael Randolph from the West Tampa Community Development Corporation. First, I want to start off by thanking every member of the CAC committee. See, this is what community empowerment really looks like. When I travel the country talking about what empowerment looks like, the West Tampa community becomes an example of that. And you're an example because you're unique in that you represent all the major neighborhood civic groups. That's what we call empowerment. And I commend every person that serves on the CAC because that's what empowerment looks like. And because I travel the country, in the city, most CRA areas don't look like this. Most CA areas are controlled by outsiders. So having said that, I just want to follow up quickly on the next step related to the housing initiative. So what we're going to start is what's known as the West Tampa Roundtable Discussion. It's a place-based initiative on dealing with.
Hey, Michael, you were breaking up. So you said the West Tampa Roundtable Initiative?
Yes, the West Tampa Roundtable Initiative. I'm sorry, am I clear now?
Yes, you are.
Okay, good. It's a place-based initiative. Thank you so much. It's what we call creating a national model to end housing crisis. It's going to consist of, on a national level, the Local Initiative Support Initiative Corporation, that's called LIST. They come with all kind of gap money. So as we then begin to develop houses in West Tampa, we got the money at the table. The second partner is Habitat for Humanity. As you know, they're doing a lot of work. We're bringing them to the table to be part of that think tank. In addition to that, is Tampa Housing Authority. They've done so much in development throughout the country. The other people that we bring to the table are the lenders, specifically banks that do CRA, other financial institutions, your government entities, and what's most important, developers that want to come in the community and want to develop not only high price houses, but mixed income housing. So we're really looking forward to that think tank coming together. And out of that, we're going to put together a master plan and then talk about the funding sources. So I'm looking forward to this meeting because now we got some major players at the table to really make a change in the community. But I cannot stop without commending many of the members that serve the CAC in any committee function. You are great and you're one of a kind. This is your community, and this is what community empowerment looks like.
Hey, Michael, quick question for you, follow-up question. When is the first meeting of the think tank?
Believe it's just beginning because we definitely want y'all to be part of it.
Okay, so as soon as you guys set a date.
It's hot off the press. We've already talked to the different players, Housing Authority and those other people, but we definitely want to bring it to you first because again, you represent the community. Collectively, y'all represent every major neighborhood and community, so definitely we want leaders from this committee to be part of that discussion.
Okay.
Because again, it's community empowerment.
Yeah, it's right off the press. So hey,
yes.
Hey Michael, so when you guys set the date, let us know so we can be there.
Definitely, for sure. Without you, it can't get done. It's got to be a grassroots, bottom-up approach. So thank you very much.
Hey, Mike, I think you may have broken up again.
Oh, that's it. Thank you very much.
Okay, all right, thank you. Hey, anyone else for public comments? All right. Not hearing any other comments. Hey, so let's move on to reports. Jesus, I think the first item is around the rental rehab program.
Yes, I think all of you have a copy of it. I also sent it to as many people as I could so they can provide comment. Not too many people, or actually no one really provided comment. I guess everyone was fine with the changes that were incorporated. I can share my screen here very quickly.
That's Riverfront. You're looking up to a half mil.
B, is that
Okay.
because?
So you or like so East Tampa and West Tampa, the housing stock is so different.
B, is it
Correct.
because I think I kind of heard, you correct me if I'm correct, they didn't want to raise the price too much only because the individuals that are qualified for this program are basically low income or moderate income or
Yes.
whatever. And if you give them
Correct.
a house
So
for
the
500,000, it
individuals
just
who
wouldn't be affordable.
correct. So the individuals who currently qualify will not be able to qualify at that 350 sales price. So
Yeah.
that's why they started working the numbers backwards, and then that 300 was what was allotted, even with the like I mentioned, the 30,000 from the city and then the 50,000 from the CRE at that point for down payment. So that made, that situation a little bit more affordable for those individuals. And again, the sweet mark, it to me is around 260, but that's impossible. But yeah, I mean, the only thing at this point in time will be like, once, I don't know, Jesus, if you had a time to get with Kayon yet about the possibility of catering, or trying to do a program around West Tampa. Maybe that will be something that you want to bring up at that point in time with her and say, hey, is there any way that for this specific program, which will be
We
a down payment
we
assistance
did
for West Tampa,
we
could
we
do the
had
three?
those meetings with Kaon. I'm not sure if they added more staff or not, but at the time they just didn't have the capacity due to staff size already being extremely overloaded with all kind of other programs that are not just this one, and plus all the mayor's programs for rental assistance and so forth. And so they just didn't want to create a whole separate program. Now let me ask another question. Is the East Tampa program 50,000 on top of, let's say they're already in the queue with the city to qualify for the down payment assistance, whatever funding that is, then
Correct.
East
It's
is
an
thrown on
additional.
top of that?
Correct. So yeah, it's on top of the 30K that they'll get from the city.
So it would be 80,000 potentially in East Tampa.
Potentially. Again, that does
And
also is contingent upon which loan product and which lender they're going with, because there's the loan to value at that point in time that the lenders look at when it's coming to max, completely max out at that 50K. But again,
so if you're from
yes,
0
to
to
answer.
30 AMIs, then it's 50,000.
Yeah. Yeah, I think is there also opportunity to like work outside of the city, maybe with Habitat or with Rebuilding Tampa Bay, if they can come up with a program that specifically for West Tampa, like to administer the down payment assistant program?
That one banking individual lady, Maria, that participated
You
last time, I think she said they also have their funding that could potentially be thrown in the mix. But as far as getting them to administer the entire program,
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
yeah, I think it's like, if the city can stand up one just for West Tampa, that'd be great. But if not, is there opportunity to find a partner that could administer the down payment assistance program for West Tampa?
What do you
'Cause I
think?
There
think
is a
that,
partner that we could look at, Jesus. They are a CDFI, a local one, a community development finance institution. It's
Which bank is a
Solita's
CDFI?
house.
Which bank
Huh?
is a CDFI? I thought you
No,
said
I
the
Solita's
credit union.
house.
Say it again? I didn't hear.
They are a CDFI, so they do down
Who is
payment assistance
CDFI?
as well, and they administer down payment assistance programs for developers.
Which one is a CDFI as an entity?
I'm sorry.
I miss who the CDFI is. What institution is that?
Oh, Solita's house.
Oh,
So it's
Solita, CDFI. Okay.
SOLITAS. Yes, house. They are an approved CDFI, and they currently do administer down payment assistance processes and programs for other developers.
We'll look at it. I mean, then that's
Yeah,
more.
'cause I think that will free us up a little bit because the housing stock is so different from East Tampa, and then when you look at the AMI chart, so like for example, if you have two husband and wife that are both making 45K, that's putting them at an income of 90,000. They wouldn't qualify for this program, and I think we will want those type of families moving into West Tampa.
And just to let you know, B, West Tampa, Bobby is correct. The housing stock there is very expensive.
I mean, there's a home on my block, just over 1,100 square feet, 375,000.
And unfortunately,
That's just a little bungalow.
one of the drawbacks of all the redevelopment of reinvesting the TIF back into our area, it does cause values to go up, and that's how we get our increment. But at the same time, gentrification, all that stuff, they're real. So we'll look at it, Bobby. I didn't realize that Salita's house was CDFI. I didn't know there was too many CDFIs in the area, period.
Yeah, so I think we definitely want to increase the purchase price because you're looking at south of the interstate and then north of the interstate. It's like the interstate is definitely like there's a the homes south of the interstate a little bit more than the north of the interstate. So if we want to support both parts of the the CRA, we probably are looking at north of 400,000.
Okay. We'll look at it. I think.
Yeah,
And just to keep
and
in
then
mind,
also having a higher AMI as well, so we can support some of the teachers who are making a teacher's like I think average income for a teacher right now is maybe 50,000. And I think if we get teachers and firefighters and other public sector employees in West Tampa, that'd be great.
we'll look at it. We'll talk to the housing division too. I know you're being overworked so much. You can always tell me to take a hike if you got too much work, but you can even join me with Kaon so you can ask the appropriate questions.
That's sure, no problem. But I'm gonna actually have to get off because I'm about to go to another meeting. But if you have any questions, please contact me, and then I'll just follow up with you as soon as you can fill me in on what you need me to do.
All right, thank you.
Okay, no
Thanks,
problem. Okay, no problem.
Hello?
Hey, Michael, I heard you. Go right ahead.
Good. Related to what everybody's saying, so I heard what your concern is. I do know I've already started discussion with the head of housing for the city. So I know she's gonna be open for a lot of possibilities. When I meet with her next time, I'm gonna talk about bringing some partners together so we can actually run that program in West Tampa and only West Tampa. Because we did that before. We had a similar program in West Tampa, and was it actually funneled money through and only for West Tampa. And that gave leeway to the people in West Tampa to increase the normal funding or decrease it. I think a program like that would really work. Because again, the power should always be with the CAC. So we just have to put together a deal that works and meet all of the concerns that everybody expressed just now.
I would agree. Any other feedback to share around what we should be doing with the down payment assistance program to help Jesus with his conversations? Any additional comments?
Bobby, we also have the individual from the Treasury, I forget her name, that's coming to talk about the other CRA, Community Reinvestment Act, at our CAC meeting. So you're more of an expert in CRA, that type of CRA than I am, but she's going to come give a presentation and see how they could potentially work in our area.
I haven't been in that division a long time, Jesus. So
Okay, well, she's coming.
I'll be learning a lot. So that's good. Because she definitely, I think she highlighted some of the things around the FHA 203 C program. That's how I learned about it. So that's something we can talk about once we get further down the road. But I think the next step after the rental rehab program, I think we definitely want to drive out the down payment assistance program. I think that'd be really, really popular with residents. So my neighbor, her daughter wants to live in West Tampa, but she can't find, a home that she can afford. And so I think this program will definitely help her get a home in West Tampa. Any general discussions from anyone?
If I could quickly apologize again.
Yeah, go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, if I could quickly apologize again for earlier. That's what happens when you're looking at Facebook and your mic is not turned off. So I really apologize for that, everybody. But I want to end by saying, hey, Sue, you're doing a really great job. I talked about how I talked about the CAC around the country. I'll also talk about you, because it's important that you have someone in city government that understand and represent not only the city, but the very people that need to be represented. The most recent example is when this deal came up related to the housing, they didn't want it. But you worked away to make it work. So, man, we commend you on what you're doing. And I'm gonna step back and commend the CAC and the city in this partnership and what you're doing. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that.
Troy.
All right. Hey,
Well,
Janice, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that I'm becoming more concerned about all of the people who are being displaced through no fault of their own. And, there's gentrification, development. We now have a TIF. But I'm really hoping that we vote on this rental rehab, because I'm just concerned about people who either used to live in duplexes or in a family home who rented, and in one instance that family is no longer here, and in the other instance, if that duplex is sold, I don't think there's any guarantee that the new owner will keep that duplex there. I'm concerned that that will be raised and a single family home will replace it.
I think in the next 2 years, we'll have to look at our community redevelopment plan again to update it. That's one of the drawbacks potentially on CRAs. When you first create a CRA, is because the area is distressed, has elements of slum and blight as they're defined by the statute. So you create these TIF districts to reinvest back those increments into the community, and the TIF, it increases more and more as property values go up. So usually when you do your community redevelopment plans, you create programs and so forth so you can implement that plan to improve the community and reduce crime and all this other good stuff. But then there's the drawback of once it starts to revitalize big time, like way West Tampa, especially South 275, and there's even more things down the pipeline for higher income rental units that are just market rate and no request for funding or anything from CRA. And when you look at that plan again, you're going to have to really work closely with that consultant to figure out strategies on how to keep the generations there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a struggle. big struggle.
It is big struggle. Hey, Zeus.
Yes,
I
sir.
think you guys are working on getting a consultant in place to